Car number 78 on the outside of him is Todd Hazelwood. Oh, trouble. Big trouble at the end of the back straight. And that's a terrible incident. A terrible incident for Hazelwood.
Yeah, I guess the incident itself, for me, it was a crazy ride, not gonna lie. It was 55 Gs backwards into the wall, about another 20 Gs of force on top of my head in the actual rollover itself. And to feel those sort of forces is unbelievable. I knew I was in a world of pain going backwards at 270 kilometers an hour. I had both feet pinned on the brake pedal, pushing as hard as I could and basically bracing for the impact, because unfortunately with that circuit there, when you have an incident, it's always a big one. And I knew I was going to be in for a big hit. But looking back at some of the photos I've seen, and it's amazing what that sort of force can do to the body, because my right foot, my driver's foot, was actually wedged up in the A pillar of the roll cage. And my last memory was having both feet pinned on the brake pedal. So the force just took over the body. And then I just felt like I was in a washing machine. Seeing the ground, seeing the daylight, and just knew I didn't know basically where I was. And I was covered in mud from actually the car digging into the ground, because it was a wet weekend leading up to that race. So my first instance, I actually thought I broke a rib. So I remember sort of leaning on my chest, but I was just badly winded at the time, and I knew straight away I just needed to get out the car and show mum and dad and my family that I was okay.
Yes, I was there. We were watching in the pits. My husband and my daughter, we were watching there and thought, oh, Todd's come on the screen. And we're just watching, and next minute, obviously the terrible crash happened, and it's like just disbelief, because obviously there was no communications, and so you didn't know what had happened. And to be honest, it's all a blur. I think you just go into shock. I don't even remember what I felt or what. All I remember is Laura and I were walking to the medical centre to obviously go and see Todd. And the chaplain came down, but I didn't realise that he was the chaplain at the time. I thought, oh, this lovely man's taking us to the medical centre. So, you think back and, it just was one crazy moment. I think I spent longer in the medical centre than Todd in the end.
It was pretty, and I guess the way it all portrayed as well, or unfolded at the time, because obviously it ripped the roof off the car, and it ripped the whole, the radio connection was obviously come out of the car completely. So the worst thing that would probably happen over the broadcast, they were saying, Todd, like my engineer was saying, Todd, are you okay? Are you okay? And I wasn't responding, and I was badly winded, so I took a while to get out of the car. Unfortunate thing with the live TV being so good these days, they broadcasted everything that was saying to the car, but I wasn't responding, and poor mum and dad and my sister Lauren were all watching that in the pits in disbelief. So the way it all unfolded was probably the worst case scenario. But fortunately I was able to walk away and get out of the car and give a thumbs up to the crowd that I was okay. Yeah, I guess if there was ever a time where you could look at footage and see how strong a race car is built, that's definitely evidence, because if I tipped a road car into a fence at that speed with those sort of forces, I wouldn't be sitting next to mum today, that's for sure.